spreads, totals, props. Lots of ways to win money, but also lots of ways to lose. It's time for some sharp analysis. All sports, all over the globe, all the time. Home of the Guess Better jackpot, it's CorBET. Here is your host, Dylan Corbett.
All right, welcome in. This is going to be the Tuesday edition of CorBET. Nice start for our Guess Better, Bryce Bockin, as he kind of manipulated the system there. He took basically some plus money to make sure that at least one of these games goes within 6 points or less. Brilliant strategy. You got it done within the first game there with the Redskins, the football team, upsetting the Steelers. Bryce, you were just talking about how it was a little nerve-wracking in the first half, but eventually it cashed.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's always interesting to see the first half, and somehow these games tend to work out and come out pretty close no matter what.
I imagine the second game might as well as two, but right now we're recording this 17-7 Bills. So we'll get right into our second day for our Guest Better here, Bryce Bockin. He's going with a little bit more extensive card. Let's start with college hoops. Matthew Cruzen with us as well. I'll get into my card here. I'm going KU minus 3.5. I know they just look terrible against NDSU. Creighton looks great, but Kansas, I still think they could play well against good teams. I got them minus 3.5. Iowa minus 4. The only time I bet Iowa was when I endured one of the worst covers I've seen in college hoops, that half-court buzzer beater by Southern. Dear fucking God, that sucked ass. But I like them against UNC minus 4. UNC, I'm still not too sold on them. Coming off a year in which they were terrible, one of the worst under Roy Williams. I know they look even better without Cole Anthony. They performed well in their tournament early season, but I think Iowa's going to hopefully lay the minus 4 here. And then lastly, this will determine whether BC, my favorite team, if I'm going to follow you guys this year, if I'm going to put my will, my determination behind you guys, you're 2-2 against the number right now, 1-3 straight up. You got to cover within Minnesota, who twice was unable to cover against Loyola Marymount and also just couldn't even cover against North Dakota. So Boston College, keep it within 7, please, and I'll still keep following you. So BC plus 7.5. That wraps up my college hoops. Bryce, let's get your hardwood plays here.
So I'm going to start out with Tennessee at minus 5.5. They haven't played a game yet this season. Maybe they will come out a little bit more fresh. I know we're not that deep into the season, but I'm sure they are eager to play and eager to show their value. I also have Iowa on my card at home against a UNC team that wasn't going to make the tournament last year. I think that's a good win, a lock for tomorrow. And then I'm going to take Memphis in the first half over Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State is worse than some of the intramural teams that I played against in college. And then lastly, I got Marquette to cover over Green Bay at 22.5. Judging how Green Bay has played against the Badgers, and the Badgers lost to Marquette, I think that this is a good bet for tomorrow.
Matt, what do you got?
Yes. I was going to bet Iowa, but with both of you guys on, I'm going to stay away.
Oh, boy.
Bad things happen when 3 of us bet the same side. So I'll stay away from that spread, but I am going to bet the over there, over 156. Kind of a square play. That's what everyone does, is bet Iowa's overs, but I like it against UNC. It's a good matchup for that. One play I am going against you. I know you know this. Creighton plus 3.5. I'll buy that up to 4. I just think they're a better team than Kansas straight up. I honestly might take money line too. We'll see.
Is this afternoon game? I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, 4:00 Central. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Next one, Ohio State minus 4 over Notre Dame. You're gonna see a theme on my card today. No, I don't even like Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's not your squad.
You're gonna see a theme on my card today and tomorrow, and that is betting Big Ten teams. Like I said, I lean Iowa, Ohio State, another one, Illinois plus 5, bounce back. I don't think Duke's that good. Plain and simple.
They haven't covered a single game.
Illinois showed where they need to get a lot better at, and Baylor showed that they're in a class of themselves, and possibly Gonzaga a lot better than what Illinois is. We'll see how Iowa is. It's kind of interesting. Wisconsin just lost, so a lot of shuffling going around outside of the top two. But I think Illinois bounces back. I think they can win. Like we've talked about before too. Camden indoors without fans is it's like a neutral site game. So better team will win tomorrow. No fans. BC Minnesota. I'm not making a play on the spread. I like over 147 here. BC does not play any defense from what I've seen, and Minnesota can sometimes, but they can get up and run and make it a fast-paced game. This game will have pace, so always a good thing. I could see some foul trouble here because Minnesota does not defend without fouling very well. Always in foul trouble. Last play here, at least that I have so far. Tennessee -5. It's their first game of the year. They had some COVID cancellations. I think they had a case within their own team. I apologize because I fucked this up on the CV preview. Santiago Vescovi, he's from Uruguay, the point guard. I didn't remember if he was South American or European. He's a baller, though. Colorado has played two bad teams, Kansas State and South Dakota. So they do have to their advantage that they've played so far, but I think Tennessee comes out and shows why I picked them to win the SEC and definitely not Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky looks great off their worst start in program history in a couple decades, So let's wrap up with football. It's the Ravens, it's the Cowboys, and then we'll get our full recap of our guest better card here for Bryce Bockin here as he's on to day 2. We're up over $50, $52 on our listener jackpot. I'm on, and I assume that you're probably going this way too, Bryce. I think it's too many points. Dallas +8.5. Baltimore, the only reason they still have a very solid chance of making the playoffs is because their schedule is easy, beginning with this game. But don't slip up against the Cowboys. I know they just got blown out by the Redskins. Jeez, I'm having a great podcast episode here. The football team. But the football team just showed they're legit, a little bit at least, especially in that division. So I like +8.5 anytime more than a touchdown in the NFL. I'm taking that. I also like under, much like I think this game went under too, between the Steelers and the Redskins. Jesus Christ, and the football team. And so I'm playing that too, +8.5, under 45. And Bryce, I think you're hoping for a close game as well.
I am hoping for a close game. I'm going to take the margin on both sides again. Cowboys at +550 and the Ravens at +325.
I love this in primetime, especially. I was just talking before you hopped into the chat, Matt, about how, especially now that we're getting these, double primetime days for the COVID pandemic season. I mean, the NFL is always trying to put a close game, even if it is Jaguars-Titans, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You touching NFL?
I'm actually on it in this later game. I wish I would have taken it in the first game. So, nah. As of now, no. I lean under, though, for sure.
Yeah, it's at 45.
Ravens, yeah. We'll see. I'm going to be locked in. There's going to be a lot of fantasy stuff going on the line with me and some playoff opportunities. Yeah.
Yes, I already clinched the punishment. I can't wait to endure that. Bryce, let's get you out of here with you got something, Matt? Sorry.
No, that was it.
Yeah, I suck ass at fantasy. Yeah, thanks. Bryce, let's get your full card here to send us off.
All right, I'll start with NFL. I'm taking margin on both sides of the Cowboys and the Ravens, 1-6. I think it'll be a close game. For college hoops, I'm taking Tennessee to cover on their first game of the season. I'm taking Iowa to cover at home over UNC. I'm taking Memphis in the first half over Mississippi Valley State. And I'm taking Marquette full game over Green Bay.
Love it. All right, this is day 2, looking to make it to day 3. Our guest better, Bryce Bockin. Matthew Cruz and I'm Dylan CorBET. This is CorBETs. You guys know the word. Let's cash.